Gunfreak Nation, what's up? What's good with it, y'all? I decided I tap in for, you know, a few minutes, the check in. Hey baby, there must have been a notification of me going live. Yeah, I went live for a minute. I'm live right now. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Who we got in here? Carlos, what up though? You got 6 people, you know. Man, that live, man, from last night with brother James Walker and brother Saint the Willis. It was yeah, it was pretty epic, man. We didn't know it was gonna what's good with it. Shout out to Kentucky, man. You know, we had fun. That live was like over 5 hours long. You feel me? Uh, um, I didn't really get a chance to when I do lives, man. It ain't about me. You know, I want to open the it's open discussion, man. I let them take the floor. You feel me? You know, I like to hear their perspectives on life. But I just want to come on for a minute. It's a lot of crazy things happening right now that I just want to get off my chest. You feel me? Like we got 14 Gunfreak Nation members in the house. You feel me? You got you a snub nose 500. That's what's up, man. Congratulations. Salute you, Carlos. What's up about the is that a gun that you wanted to have in particular? I mean, of course the question should be, what was it about the 500 that you liked so much that you pinpointed, that you singled out that particular gun out of the million other guns that's out there? Because I come close, man. I ran across a deal. What up, though, Mark? Salute, bro. I ran across a deal earlier tonight on PSA where they got a Fear 109 pump action shotgun on. Well, I ain't gonna even say it's on sale. It's a clearance, y'all, and it's $179. A gun. When I first saw that gun, it was at a gun shop, and I swear it was like $800, $700, $800. They got it right now on clearance at PSA for $189 or 100. I think it's 189, 179. Cheap as hell. And the old T would have just bought it just because it's that cheap. But then I got to thinking about it, like, how many of y'all remember that red shotgun I had? It was damn, I forget the company that makes it, but I had 2 of them. I had a green one, an OD green one, and then that last one, the last bull pup, it was that red one. I forget the name of the company that makes it, and I gotta stop just, me personally, I gotta stop just buying stuff off just get the urge to buy something, man, off of a whim. I can't do that no more. So I was like, why? Like, if I got that shotgun, if I ordered it tonight, I'll have it next week or later this, by Friday or Saturday, right? Um, that's what's up, brother. Um, and it'll be sitting right there with the other 2 shotguns I got. You feel me? So I got to thinking, I'm like, I don't need it because it's similar to the KSG, but the KSG hold more shells than it do. It come with them 2 5-round shells, and I'm like, it's sweet and it look. See, that's my problem. I buy stuff off looks, guns off looks and stuff, and I don't shoot them. So I said, you know what? I gotta take I gotta do a hard pass on that. You know, I gotta say no because, like I say, if the it'll be next, it'll be sitting next to my IWI TS12, and it'll be sitting next to the Caltech, you know, KSG. And if ever it came to be a situation where I would have to use a shotgun, it wouldn't be that one. It wouldn't be that Fear 109. It'd more than likely be the KSG. For the simple fact I haven't shot my TS12 before. But I want to, you know, What Up hit me up with this last night, and it's all on the news and all over the news about Biden pardoning, you know, Hunter Biden, his son, man. You know, what y'all feel about that? My personal opinion, that's his son. You know what I'm saying? If I was president and my son did something crazy or whatever, you know, and he in prison, and if I didn't pardon my son, if I didn't pardon my son, I would be an ain't shit dad. You know, blood is blood, family is family. That's my kid. You know what I'm saying? That's my son. So I ain't mad at him for doing that. You know, he wouldn't be shit if he about to leave office and you got your kid and you know in prison when you can get him out. You feel me? So I ain't mad at him. I understand that. I'm a father. You know, no, I wouldn't have lied all them times and said, nah, I ain't gonna pardon him. I ain't gonna pardon him. No, nah, I ain't pardoning him. I ain't, you know, I wouldn't have lied. I would have been like, that's my kid. I'm gonna pardon my kid. You know, but I think he, you know, we know for sure that Trump probably wouldn't have pardoned, but I'm hearing that Trump was gonna pardon him. And that he was gonna get all of the January 6 people, you know, pardon a majority of them. You know, so but what I think he, you know, number one is his son. Number two, I think he failed that when Trump, you know, take office, once he get back in office, he was going to have people investigating all that laptop stuff and all his business doings that he did with Ukraine and, you know, and he's free from all that now. He's pardoned from, you know, he's free from all that, man. But I can't be shocked or disappointed because he got his kid out of prison. He pardoned his kid. You feel me? You said I did a video with what? Damn, I can't even get these comments up. Let me see what's up, man. You did a video with the Smith & Wesson SDV9, I think. No, I don't think I've never owned an SDV9. The only Smith & Wesson pistol that I ever had was that the M&P 5.7. Yep, the Smith & Wesson M&P 5.7, and I only had it for 2 days. Never shot it. I had it for 2 whole days, 48 hours, and I took it back to Spencer at Armed in Michigan and sold it back to him. See, you know, I really am a gun freak, and I buy a lot of shit off the urge, man, all the impulse. And I came very close to doing that tonight when they had that shotgun on clearance for like under $200, man. I'm like, wow, man. But I'm like, what would I do with it? Just sit it right there next to the KSG and the IWITS-12, which I think is, you know, they cost more, they're more high end, and I just gotta change my ways, man, and spend that money on something else that I really do need. You know, I really don't want or need or have a need for more guns when I got like almost 20 guns. So, you know. Hey man, I appreciate y'all. I don't know what that last word was, but I appreciate y'all. Oh, okay. I don't know who that person is. I really don't know who that person is. Appreciate you. You know, but it's a lot that's happening, man. You know, no matter what this when Trump get in and when Trump leave, man, it's still gonna be, you know, criminals out there, man. So you just gotta be prepared, gotta be armed and ready, man, at all times, you know. But it's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, man. You know, I try to not, you know, I've been like this all my life. I try to observe what's going on around me, you know, locally, nationally, internationally, man. And this, I've never seen it so bad where it's like all these wars and stuff, you know, breaking out, man. Like what's going on over there in Syria. I remember, um, like in 2010, you know, we had all those, you know, regimes over there being toppled. They call it the Arab Spring, where, you know, the people was rising up, overthrowing the governments and stuff over there. And rumors is that the CIA instigated a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now over there in Syria, shit is escalating big time. But the Assad regime has been caught off guard, and they don't lost like major cities like Aleppo and like that shit is like, what's good with it? All right, thank you, bro, for that. What's your name? Hauling Sarge. Thank you for that super chat, brother. Appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's escalating over there. And I think the rebels, man, they see that Russia is occupied, you know, fighting Ukraine. You got that war. Uh, um, for those who don't know, back in 2010, you know, Libya, Gaddafi, he was toppled. Who else? Hosni Mubarak, the president of Egypt, they overthrew him, and they tried to do Assad like that, and what happened was he had Iran come in to help him. He had Hezbollah who was fighting Israel right now in the war and over like in Lebanon. Basically, they had war. And then he had Russia come in, and they was able to push the rebels back, man. And they like extremists. Some of these rebel groups are aligned with Al Qaeda. They're aligned with ISIS, and now he on the ropes now, and he can't really get the full force that he had, the full amount of help that he was getting, you know, because Russia's busy trying to, you know, they fighting Ukraine, which they started the shit, but they at war. Then you got the Iran is worried about what's going on over in the, you know, in Lebanon. You know, Hezbollah been fucked up by Israeli, man. By Israel fucked Hezbollah up. You don't fuck with, man, I'm telling you, they got fucked up. So it looked like it's just turmoil all over the world. And then have y'all seen the reports from November 20th to the 22nd. They said it happened today. Some U.S. bases over there in England, drones right over their bases, and this happened 2 or 3 times. And then on the 22nd, oh, y'all, some of y'all might know about this. If you don't know about it, look it up, Google it, YouTube it. You'll see what I'm talking about. The same drones were seen over the Capitol in Washington, D.C. We talking about drones. They were in formation over the White House. And this was captured not by one person, but by multiple people. Different camera angles. You know what I'm saying? Different camera angles. So y'all know where I'm going with this, right? Those particular drones, they say they was able to, the drones, the technology with these drones, they was able to hack and shut down their defenses. They was able to, they didn't appear on radar. They was just doing all kind of crazy shit. So now, I need to get this out of my system, y'all. How many of y'all think that they really drones, or y'all think that it's something else? You know, type in the comment, do you think that they drones, or do you think it's something else? Because I'm starting to think that it's something else. Because this it's something I want to talk about, but it ain't I might end up talking about it, but I don't think that they necessarily drones like they said is. I think it's something else. And I think a lot of stuff that's going on in the world right now, I think it's a distraction against other shit that's happening. They don't want people to pay attention to us, so they distracting us. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it at that. But it's like an event that's happening, and these so-called drones are being seen and filmed, and it's not just happening in the United States. It's happening all over the world, and it's crazy. So we got to be ready for whatever. You feel me? We got to be ready for whatever that's coming our way. Man, I'm trying to read all these comments. All right, I'm getting comments, people saying that they can't leave a comment. What up though, Sergeant Rocker? What's good with it? Man, so you saying you got a Turkish shotgun? You know what? I hear nothing but good things about them shotguns made over there in Turkey. Matter of fact, every firearm that comes from Turkey seems to be good. I had a couple of mechanics. I had the AP5M, which was made over there by a company called MKE, that's made over there in Turkey. Turkey makes some quality ass guns that's relatively inexpensive. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter about the price, it's about the functionality of it. If it's reliable, if it work, if it go bang when you pull that trigger, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters, you know. And for the person that got that revolver, congratulations to you and the one that got the shotgun. I want to ask you a question. The person that got the revolver, is that your primary self-defense pistol? Damn. I thank you, man, for blessing the channel by subscribing. You feel me? What is your name? Do something off or whatever you appreciate you, brother. You gotta forgive my half blind ass. I ain't got my reading glasses on, so forgive me if I fucked up your name. But bottom line is, man, whatever that's coming, we need to be fully prepared. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some shit, and I don't know what it was, but it was some crazy shit. Can't explain it. Can't say it was Little Green Man. All I know is that this shit was, and it wasn't me that just saw it. And one day I'm gonna put up the video because I was able to film it for a few minutes and shit. And I do believe that it's others in the universe. You got to be a fool to think that we are the only, form of life, intelligent life in this whole universe, man. That's not it. It's others. It's other things that we don't know about or whatever. I think the government know about it, but for whatever reason, they don't want to really just come out and just, tell everybody what it is. You feel me? But when you got Congress at Capitol Hill, that's the crazy part. They just had a UAP hearing in Capitol Hill. And just a few days ago, them so-called drones or objects, UAPs, were seen hovering over Capitol Hill, over the Capitol. That shit is crazy. You know what? You're right, man. Let me tell you this. This is, and I've said this before. I told my encounter on my channel before. I saw something that I could not. Me and my son and I. Initially, it was just us. We saw something that was out of this world. What up, though? That we just, I don't know what it was, but initially my son was like, "Dad, that's just a helicopter. That's an airplane." We was just coming back from the hospital, and I noticed it. It was way further away, right? But it was something about it, the color of it. It just grabbed my attention, and I said, "Nah, that's not that ain't no regular helicopter or airplane, right? Because helicopters and airplanes make noise, right? This thing, what I saw, and I'm not making this up. On everything I love, I'm not making this up. And like I say, I was able to capture some of the footage of it. But I'll never forget this as long as I live, man. I looked at it, and it was steady, like coming towards me. At that time, it might have been about a good 7 or 8 blocks away, right? My house is right here. I'm standing in my driveway. I was getting ready to go in my crib, and as I was getting out the car, me and my son, we was getting ready to go in the crib, and I just looked up. I just turned up, looked up, and I saw it. And it was odd because usually, aircraft have, blinking lights and shit on it, right? It's going to have some type of strobe light on it, right? This thing I saw, that's what's up. This thing I saw, it didn't have any of that. No flashing lights, no strobe lights, nothing. It was like at the time, how far away it was, it looked red, like reddish, right? So I'm getting ready to go in the house, but something tell me, don't don't go in the house yet. Stick around. Don't go in the house just yet. So we out there, I'm shooting the breeze with my son. We talking, and I'm giving it more time to get closer, right? So I'm killing time talking to my son. So maybe about a minute, 2 minutes later, it's up close. Maybe 2 blocks away, treetop level, a little bit higher than treetop level. And what I saw, it blew me away. And I reached for my phone. My phone was dead. Not because that whatever I'm looking at, tapped into it, but I was at the hospital, visiting my mom. And my mom was in a dire, situation, man, where she had a stroke. And every time when I would go visit my mom, because they were saying she was, I don't like to get too personal on here, but they were saying she was pretty much brain dead, So what I would do every time when I would go visit my mom, I would go sit with her. And I would always take my phone and I would pull up YouTube and play all her favorite, songs and stuff to try to stimulate her, to stimulate her brain, stimulate her mind, man, to see could I get some type of reaction. And if I couldn't, at least I'm hoping she can hear all her favorite songs, So I would do that, and I would play her songs, and while she's in the hospital bed, I would lay the phone up on the pillow next to her ear and play all her favorite songs. So when I, used up all my battery doing that, and it was time for me to go, because I was always wait to visiting hours. They had to kick me out. That's my mom. You know what I'm saying? What's good with it, RJ? So that's the reason why my phone, and I'm like, damn, man, I'm looking at something clearly bizarre. I'm looking at something clearly unusual. And it just blew me away. Where, have you ever seen something that was just so, it was paranormal, but it was just so something you ain't never seen before in your life, and you can't do nothing but you can't do nothing but just stand there and be like in total awe, like your jaw dropping, and you like, wow, what the fuck? And you just froze looking, you mesmerized, right? You're mesmerized looking at this. I can just, as I'm talking about it, man, I'm getting goosebumps, man. This object that I saw, it was round. It was an orb. It was an orb. And it was reddish, orange, and shit, man. I'm playing it back in my mind right now. It was a reddish orange. It was one of the most beautiful colors. Subtle. It wasn't bright, where like you in front of your headlights and you gotta squint your eyes and all that. None of that, man. It was like a subtle, beautiful, like warm, subtle, like color to it. And it was red. It was reddish, orange, and it looked like a plasma ball. It was like plasma, man. It wasn't nothing like, it wasn't anything mechanical. It wasn't nothing man-made is what I'm trying to say. It didn't have no rings on it. It didn't have no rotors. It didn't have no tail. It didn't have no, like a cockpit. None of that. It was just a round, like plasma. And it was reddish and orange, and it had like shit, like swirling around in it, like energy. The only thing I can think of is like, imagine like energy. Something like, you see this right here? You see that right there? You see the energy that's in here like that? But it didn't look like that. It was round like that, but it didn't look like that. It was reddish orange, and it had like like energy or something like swirling around in it. Like it was like an energy ball, like a plasma. It looked like lava from a volcano. But imagine a ball of a reddish orange orb, and it was shit like swimming around, like moving all around, like flickering and shit. I'm trying to make sense of it, right? So I'm looking at it. Me and my son, like we like UFOs. That's the only thing I could think of. UFOs. I ain't never seen nothing like this, right? So as we are looking, it stops. It was floating. It was like gliding, had a glide to it, and it stopped as if it knew that we was looking at it. Treetop level. It wasn't that big. What's good with it, Carl? It wasn't that big, but what we noticed as we was looking at it, and like I said, one more thing I want to add to it. The odd thing about it, even though it was you could see this is nighttime, probably around 10 o'clock, 9 or 10 o'clock. It had to be like 9. The light that was inside this thing, it stayed within. You know what I'm saying? The light was like trapped within it. You know how you got like a flashlight, like on my phone right here? Hold on, let me get this motherfucker. You see how this light is operating, and you see how I'm able to illuminate stuff? This light didn't do that. It wasn't like a flashlight. It wasn't like headlights on your car. Lights are designed to illuminate, what you're trying to see. It illuminates the area around it. This thing did not do that. It's like the light was trapped in, and it wasn't mechanical. So as we stood there watching it, all of a sudden it got brighter. Like you know how in your dining room, if you got a chandelier and you got the dimmer switch where you can dim the lights on your chandelier, you can go bright or you can go dim. It went from dim to bright to the point to where it started making a noise like electricity, like something like buzzing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever seen like a down wire, and that wire is jerking all around and making that noise and shit, that buzzing noise? It started making noise like that. So as soon as it just got brighter and brighter and brighter, and the brighter it got, the louder the noise got, right? So all of a sudden it started dripping shit, man. Like molten metal. Like you know how you if you a welder or something, you welding things, and you know how sparks and shit get to flying and like metal and shit, like molten metal, like hot fire or something. But it wasn't fire, it was like molten metal. And it just started dripping. And we like, what the fuck is this damn thing doing? It's dripping shit. All of a sudden, when it started doing that, another one just floated up from behind the trees, across the street, from behind the trees. And it began the original one that we saw was like right here. The one that floated up from behind the tree, floated up and went over like that. It was like some geometry behind this shit. And by that time, my brother and my niece was at the crib. I ran in the house and I just started screaming. It's UFOs outside to the top of my voice. I ran upstairs to my room, and I had got this old ass, at the time I had this old ass, matter of fact, hold on, let me go get it. I think I still got that camera. I had this old ass JVC camera. Do I still got this damn camera? Go in my closet right quick. I don't even think I got it no more. I might have gave it away or something. Because it would have been right here. If I still had it, it would have been. And I got it right here. Here it is. So, let me say this. I had this old ass camcorder that my ex-girlfriend had bought me when I was living out there. And she had got it for me for a gift. And this was back in 2010, right? Like 2010, 2011. When I saw that orb, it was 2016. So this thing, it wasn't no such thing as 4K and 1080p and all that shit. That didn't exist back in when this camera right here was made. So, but since my battery was down, I didn't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think to ask my brother, let me use your phone or record this, or my niece, let me use. I wasn't thinking at the time. So I ran upstairs to my room and I took this camera right here out the pouch. This camera right here, this JVC camera right here. And I remember putting the battery in there and hoping that it had some juice left in the battery. And I began to run back downstairs. Like I remember turning it on like this. I put the battery in there and I turned it on and I ran back outside and I started filming with this. And I'm trying to zoom in on it and I couldn't see it. Wasn't nothing showing up in the viewfinder. I was like, this old ass, ancient ass camera. I said, this camera ain't shit. I can't even see nothing. I'm zooming in on it, thinking I'm zooming in on it, but ain't nothing, nothing is showing through this viewfinder. So I'm thinking I ain't capturing shit because I ain't seeing shit. So I said, you know what? Let me just do this just in case, because I do got some battery power, right? So I'm looking at it. I don't see shit through the viewfinder, right? It ain't picking it up. So I said, you know what? I ain't filming shit. But anyway, we watched this thing for another like 2 minutes. It was just sitting there, rock solid, both of them. Remember, it started off with one. When I think about it now, I think that shit that dripped off of it, that molten metal, I think it created that second one. So whatever these things is, they can duplicate themselves. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me that it was not under some type of intelligent control, because it stopped. It was coming. My way, floating, gliding, whatever, however you want to see it, call it, and it stopped as if it knew me and my son was looking at it. And then it brightened up and it started dripping that molten metal looking shit, and it formed another one and it came up. And by that time I had this camera. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This right here, I wish I would have had, instead of this old one right here, I wish I would have had this one. I got this camera earlier this year, like around February or something like that. If only I had this bad boy. And I ain't never used this camera. It's just been sitting on the shelf. I bought this like in February. This another camera that I was gonna use for my YouTube content, right? But I prefer my iPad. When I film my videos for YouTube, I use my iPad. But this one right here, I got, and this one is a 4K camera. It's a 4K. But I never use it. Not one time did I ever use it, man. I wish I would have had something like this back then. But I fell back on this one, this old camera. I'm gonna probably end up just throwing this in the trash or something. It ain't no good no more. It's not even HD. So what happened was, at one point, an airplane was flying over it. We looking at this, the part I caught on video. An airplane was flying over it, and it disappeared. It just literally disappeared. And when after the plane flew over it, it reappeared. They both was locked. And just one was right here, one was right there. We looking at it, and all of a sudden, they just floated off. And we lost track of them when they entered into a cloud bank. You know what I'm saying? They was just floating off, and they went into some clouds, and we lost track of them. I would never ever forget that as long as I live, because I really did witness something paranormal. If you ask me, I don't know what it was, but I don't think it was from this world. I mean, how could we make something that's purely it was like a orb, but like an energy ball. But I'm telling you, it had some type of intelligence to it. This thing was able to duplicate itself. It multiplied itself. When it started dripping that molten metal looking shit, it formed another one that floated up. Man, that shit blew me away. And I want to find the video. I got the video on one of my hard drives, man. And you can hear us talking about it. You can see it briefly. Because when I hooked this camera up to get the footage off of it to my computer, I said, I'd be damned. It did capture it a little bit. It captured it. But the video, by this being an old camera and it's non-HD, it didn't do it justice. It's grainy as fuck, right? I mean, this 2010 technology. So in the video, you can see it though. You can see one right here and one right there just sitting, up in the sky. And you can hear us, talking about it. I'm gonna play that video. I gotta play that video soon. I gotta find it. It's on one of my hard drives over there, man. One of my external hard drives. So when you see on TV that you got these pretty much the same objects that I saw over the Capitol, and they being seen over American air bases. People, Air Force people, they admitting it now. Remember how many of y'all know about that Tic Tac, the footage? Then it was another footage where they call it the Gimbo. A lot of I'm telling you, this government is sitting on a lot of shit, and they probably don't know what the fuck it is either. But they don't want to spook the American people, man. But I'm thinking, like, if they holding, hearings on that shit in Capitol Hill, come on, man. I know that it's something that is, and I think a lot of these objects are seen going into water, like oceans and shit. A lot of them are, I don't know what they are, but we ain't got shit on their technology. I don't know where they come from, what they represent, but I'll say this. When I saw it, I didn't feel like, I wasn't scared. I was just excited, man. I'm like, I knew at that point I was looking at something that was paranormal, something that was highly unusual, something that wasn't, it's not from this earth. And that's how I know that it's a lot of things to life that we don't know about, man. And I be watching, like, YouTube channels that show a lot of footage that people, have recorded, these unidentified objects, right? And some of the shit that I be seeing is like the same one that I saw. Matter of fact, I got a couple of Gun Freak Nation members that reached out to me, and it's like, T, I saw the same shit that you saw. You know, the shit floated. It wasn't flying. The shit floated right over our heads. I've had numerous Gun Freak Nation members that saw the same thing. So a lot of people don't want to come forward because they feel like people gonna think they crazy or something, man. But and then even for a second, even me, and you know, I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me. But even at one point, I'm like, damn, should I come out and it's my truth. I saw it, and it ain't just my truth. My son saw it. My brother that's no longer here saw it. My niece saw it. And it was crazy. But when I first started hearing about the orbs and all that and shit was back in 97 when I first started hearing about it. When how many of y'all in here know about the situation that happened in Phoenix? And it was called the Phoenix Lights. When tens of thousands of people saw, it was two incidents that night. It was March 13th, 1997 in Phoenix, Arizona. And thousands of people saw this boomerang shaped craft that was the fucking size of, they was like, that motherfucker was like 2 football fields long. They said that motherfucker had to be like a mile or 2 miles long. And it was silent. It had these lights, and they said it was like transparent that you could see through the shit like it was cloaking itself, but you could see the outline of it. You feel me? And then they said these orbs, and by the way, they said these orbs was reddish orange. They said the orbs was docking from this craft and undocking from the craft. The shit make this, hey, make that shit make sense, man. And all them people, when you got tens of thousands of people that see something and they don't know each other and they in different parts of the city and they all filming this shit, make that shit make sense. Make it make sense. So that was the first event. The second event is the one that everybody saw, if you're familiar with that case. You said what? You said I'm in the Phoenix area. Those lights were like an amber color. Yeah. It was two events. The first event was the actual craft that flew. That's the one that the majority of the people saw. The second event was when them lights they lit up one at a time and they was in a line. And the government gonna lie and say they were flares. But the people that actually saw it, because at first the government said, the army, the military said, no, the Air Force said, no, we didn't have no planes or helicopters in that area. But then they later came back and said, yeah, it was some other aircraft from another base that was doing some training and it was dropping some flares. Flares my ass. Anybody know when you shoot a flare up or when a helicopter or airplane drops a flare, that flare gonna flicker? It's two things that flare gonna do. That flare gonna flicker and that flare is gonna fall. It's gonna fall down. All right? These lights that was, when y'all get done, go and YouTube the Phoenix Lights and you'll see what I'm talking about. These lights were in formation and they was just sitting up there. They were spaced perfectly apart. They wasn't moving. They wasn't floating or nothing like that. They wasn't falling. They was just sitting up there one by one. One would turn on, then you would have another one turn on, and then you would have another one after that one turn on, and then you would have another one until it was like about 5 or 6 or 7 of them, and they was just sitting up there. You don't believe me? YouTube it and you will see it. So I don't know what they are. I don't know what they represent, but I do know that I saw it with my own eyes back in 2016. And man, I was amazed. I was excited, and not too many people get to see something that clearly not from this world. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. That's my opinion on it. I don't know what they are. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it's more to this life than what we see. And I believe that from, I'm telling you, it's got to be something more to this life. And I do think that this government know about it. I do think a lot of shit that's going on right now with all these wars and stuff, man, I do think a lot of this shit, is a distraction, man. And with it's like back in 1997, there were no cell phones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there might have been some cell phones that existed, but cell phones wasn't prevalent back in 1997 like they are now. You know, people had big ass camcorders back in 97. Y'all remember them days? If you old enough, you will remember them days where we had the camcorders where you hit the button and them motherfuckers take them big ass VHS tapes and you put the VH tape in and then you put that motherfucker, you wear that, you looking like the newsman, man, like a news cameraman. You put that motherfucker on your shoulder and you got that viewfinder and shit. And yeah, you filming shit like that. They had shit like that back then. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I know about the motherfuckers because I done made plenty of videos and shit of myself. Fucking. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna tell you, this ain't the TElectrik sex tape or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, back in 97, they didn't have the technology that we got. So because every phone it's a motherfucking video camera now, more of these objects are being, recorded now. People are filming it now, man. And it's hard for the government to lie about it. It's harder it make it difficult for the government to try to cover the shit up when you see something that that's paranormal, that is strange, that is weird, that hey, let me get my phone out and film this. And this is why I think that when you see them talking about it on the news, they call UAPs now, unidentified aerial phenomenon or whatever it is. It was UFOs. Now they calling them UAPs now. And now, they even releasing video footage from fighter jet cameras capturing these things, man. They like orbs and shit. So I don't know where they from. On the channel I was watching, some people even was like suggesting that they are us, that they are us from the future, that they time travelers. And the reason why you seeing them over sensitive American military installations, most of the time when these things are being captured and being seen, they over American, sensitive American air bases that house nuclear weapons, right? And I'm thinking, like, time and time again, every time when one of them is being seen over a base, they got nuclear weapons at that base. So what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Could it be somebody from the future? That could be advanced and they know how to go back in time. Think about it like this. And I'm only saying this because I saw them say it, and I'm like, you know what? That do kind of make sense. I ain't saying that's what it is, but they was like, what if it's, they time travelers and they trying to go back in time? Because if our dumbasses, and I'm nothing against nobody in this room, but I'm just saying, like, Biden, okay, Ukraine to use, high-tech missiles and shit on Russia. They said that never before in the world have we been this close to nuclear war, even more closer than we had the Cuban Missile Crisis back in the 60s. That's the last time we came close to a nuclear war when Russia was trying to put a base on Cuba, and Kennedy wasn't having that shit, and he put a blockade around Cuba. You know, in the war, everybody was scared that a nuclear war was gonna break out. So what if they trying to warn us, like, if we fuck ourselves up, fuck up and have a nuclear war, they wouldn't exist, right? They would not exist because the whole world would be fucked up. So I don't know, man. It get complex, it get strange, but I'm gonna tell y'all this now. It's something that is here, and I don't know what it is. I'm not saying this little green man. That's Hollywood right there. That's the movies right there. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's spiritual beings. I don't know whether it's actual extraterrestrial aliens. I don't know whether it's spirits. I don't know what it is. I cannot explain it. But all I know is that whatever this thing was that I saw, this beautiful orb, because that color was beautiful, man. Reddish orange, subtle, warm, like just a warm, beautiful, ambient orb. That's what it was. That's the word I'm looking for. Ambient. It was an ambient orb, and it was just beautiful, reddish orange, just like they say they saw in Phoenix that night, man. And whatever this thing was, it had some type of intelligence to it, man. And it wasn't no craft, it wasn't no fucking drone, man. This thing was like a plasma ball. It had intelligence to it. I can't make it make sense. I can't understand it. All I know is that I saw what I saw. And it wasn't me that just saw the shit, man. You know, I'm going to tell y'all something else. Go on YouTube. You on YouTube now. But check this out. Look up, because NASA don't call a lot of shit on video. And then I remember one time I was watching something live. NASA was doing, they was working on one of their shuttles or something, a satellite or some shit like that, a telescope, Hubble telescope. And all of a sudden, this is live. I'm looking at the live feed, right? I see like a little orb vertically, not horizontally, just vertically just float up across the screen. And before it can get to the top, they cut the motherfucking live feed, man. I'm like, I'd be damned. They cut the live feed, man. I wish I would have been recording it. But go look up, if y'all interested in this, look up the tether incident. It was an incident where NASA was out there and they was in outer space, and they was working on it was something that they was working on, and they had a tether. And all of a sudden that tether broke loose. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about because a lot of people know about this. And the actual footage is right here on YouTube right now. When that tether broke off, it was like some rope or something. It was something that they had a satellite tether to it, but the tether broke off from the shuttle, and it just floated off in space. And it was like a big ass long line that was glowing. I don't know what made it glow, but it was glowing. The further it got, you can see it was like just out there in space, right? All of a sudden, that tether, like the little rope thing, the tether, it got surrounded by a bunch of like orbs and shit that was like looking at it. They was floating, and you had orbs going up. You had orbs going to the side. It must have been like 100 orbs that just came out of nowhere and just swarmed that tether, like it was looking at it. And it was blinking, and man, it was crazy. They was humongous. You got to remember that when this tether was stretched out, it was like a mile long. So when it's far away and you see these orbs, and that thing is a mile long, and you see orbs going by that's taking up all of the space and blocking it out, that tells you how big the orbs is, right? So all this, what I'm telling you, Google it on YouTube. Put it in the search bar. Put in NASA, the tether incident. It's a name for it. Let me My phone ain't acting right though. It won't go up on YouTube for whatever reason. I don't know why. I'm gonna probably have to reset it. But I think it was called the NASA STG something, and it has something to do with UFOs. But all you gotta do is just go in the search box and put in the tether incident, the NASA tether UFO tether incident, and it should pop up. Cause my shit ain't working. I clicked on this like 3 seconds ago, and it's been doing this shit all day. So I might have to uninstall it and reinstall it. But that's what I'm talking about, man. It's other shit on this planet that we have no idea. I think we're being visited. I think that the government know about it, and I think slowly they just trying to soften us up. That's why they having hearings and shit. That's why they releasing videos. That's why they leaking videos, man. It's a lot of shit that's going on. I don't know about the one with that monster looking thing over Iraq. Did y'all see that video? The jellyfish, the jellyfish UFO, where it's like a little humanoid and it's just flying over one of them Iraqi military bases, the American base over in Iraq. Did y'all see that crazy shit? I don't know how real that is, but they claim that it's real, man. So you just gotta be, just be ready for whatever. You know what I'm saying? Be ready for whatever, man. But I'll never forget it. And I wish I didn't know I was gonna end up telling my story. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have knew I was gonna do it, I would have went and found the footage. I got the footage on one of my external hard drives over there, and I would have played it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I'll do that the next time. But it's crazy. But getting back to the original topic though, about Biden getting the sign out. Hey man, if I was in that situation and I'm president of the United States, that's my kid, man. I don't give a fuck about all that politics shit. You my son, I would be an ain't shit father to leave office and not pardon my kid. That's the way I feel. A lot of people, they criticizing Biden. They getting on, well, he said he wasn't gonna do it. He said he wasn't gonna do it. And how can he talk about Trump and all that? No, people saying, well, you need to pardon Trump or all that bullshit y'all threw off on him. All that bullshit they charged Trump with. Why not pardon him now? It would have made more sense, because now they say that since he did that for his son, Trump, that opened the door for him to pardon whoever he wants to. But I ain't buying into that shit. Trump don't give a fuck what nobody think about him. He gonna do what he gonna do, regardless. And I think all them January 6 people that got caught up in the that got caught up at the Capitol and shit, I think he about to probably he gonna free all them, man. I think I wouldn't be mad at him if he did. You got to put everything in perspective, man. Them people actually thought that that Biden stole the election, man. So they had every right to feel how they feel. You feel me? They had every right. Now, busting up in that Capitol like that, and I guess, yeah. But I wouldn't be mad at Trump if Trump freed them people, man. It's a mess, man. I just feel like that everything that the Democrats accuse the Republicans of doing, they do the shit too. They're just more sneaky at it. You know what I'm saying? They do the same shit that they do. It's all about power, all about money, and you really can't trust neither one. The only person you can trust is yourself. Remember that. Trump, I fuck with him any day over Biden or Harris, because it's one reason why I fucks with Trump. He ain't grandstanding talking about he gonna enact a new assault weapons ban and, you know, take away our guns and shit. Even though I know somebody gonna be like, well, he did the bump stock. You know, he banned the bump stock. Fuck them bump stocks, man. You know, fuck them bump stocks. I didn't have one, so it didn't affect me, goddammit. You know, and I don't mean to be all cold like that. I'm not, everybody, look, Trump ain't perfect. He's not. He ain't perfect. He's a flawed man just like me. You know what I'm saying? He loved women just like me. Baby, you didn't hear that. I mean, you used to. I mean, I still do, but I'm taking right now. You feel me? But yeah, man. Huh? You said they can have me. Why would you say a horrible thing like that, baby? You should be happy to have me. You said what now? I said back then. I didn't say now. I didn't say now. Why you eavesdropping on me anyway? What? Anyway, listen, man. Yeah. So when it comes to that, um, it's hypocrisy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all about power, all about money. You know, and position yourself for power, man. Politicians gonna always tell you what they think you want to hear you know, they emotionally fucking you. That's basically what they doing. Politicians emotionally fuck people. Obama was a genius at that shit. That nigga, man, he was an expert at that. He made a lot of motherfuckers feel good. You know, he even had Republicans voting for his ass and got in that office and ain't did shit, didn't do shit. He helped the LGBTQ community, you know, but he didn't do shit for nobody else. That's all I'm gonna say. You feel me? I want to touch on another topic, y'all. I want to know, y'all, you know, what's y'all opinion of the Jordan Neely case that's in New York, the subway, when the, you know, the crazy, I mean, he was mentally ill, and he was hungry, he was homeless, and he had a violent past. You know, he was harassing people on that subway train, and you know, he walked on the train, you know, threatening people. Hey, I ain't ate in 2 days. I'm hungry, man. I'm gonna go to prison. I'm about to kill somebody in this motherfucking train. You know, and you have to look at it in the confines when you want. You know, I ain't never been in you know, to New York, so I don't know what their subway trains are like. But you are boxed in. You're pretty much trapped in that motherfucker. All I can compare it to is here in Detroit, when, for whatever reason, when I didn't want to drive somewhere, maybe I was going downtown. I don't like the traffic down there. You can't find no parking places down there, and I don't want to pay $30 for, you know, for paid parking. I just hop my black ass on the fucking bus. Well, I can tell you this: each and every time I got my ass on that bus, it's always a crazy motherfucker on that bus. And you got to deal with this crazy ass for your whole duration on that ride, man. It's always a crazy motherfucker or a crazy homeless motherfucker that's on that fucking bus, harassing people and shit, terrorizing people and shit, man. You know, so I get it. So a lot of people were saying, you know, when Jordan Neely got on that subway train, and he was, you know, I'm ready to go to prison. I go to prison. I'm hungry. You know, I ain't ate in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kill every one of you motherfuckers in here. You know what I'm saying? He throwing shit, getting in people's faces. So the dude that happened to be a white guy, and Jordan Neely happened to be a black guy, a crazy ass Michael Jackson impersonator, you know, mentally ill. You feel me? So he was watching this. The white guy, who happens to be in the Marines. I don't know whether he's still in the Marines or not. I don't know. He's a Marine. I'm pretty sure y'all heard about this case. So he got up, and before I say this, let me say this. Let me specify this. Even though Jordan Neely was on that subway train making out, them threats and stuff, and, I'm hungry, I'm going to kill somebody. I mean, those are threats. Those are threats. But not one time did he physically touch anybody. He didn't touch nobody. He didn't hit nobody. He didn't grab nobody. He was just having an episode, man. But the Marine, the white dude, he got up, was walking behind Jordan Neely and grabbed him. Put him in a chokehold, took him down to the floor. Then there was a couple of other people that was happening, man, holding the crazy motherfuckers, arms and legs and shit, right? But where he fucked up at is that he held them too long in that damn chokehold, and he died. So now they trying to, the trial, they had closing arguments today. The trial is over. The decision is up to the jury now. What I want to know from y'all, do you think that man should be charged for manslaughter? I don't know what exactly the charges are, but do you think he should go to jail for murder? Or do you think he did the right thing? I don't think his intention was to kill the guy, but I think that he held him in that chokehold because the prosecutor was like, wasn't nothing wrong with him intervening and stopping him from acting a damn fool, right? So, but they saying that he still, even when Jordan Neely stopped resisting and was just laying there, basically unconscious, not doing nothing, unconscious. How you gonna hold a man in a chokehold while he's unconscious? He probably was dead then. So they getting him, like they said, 51 seconds, the last of the video, because people was filming it with their phones. The last 51 seconds, Jordan Neely wasn't moving his arms, he wasn't kicking his legs, he wasn't doing nothing, man. But he still had his he still had him in a chokehold. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think he had good intentions, but I feel like he fucked up by, same thing Derek Chauvin did to George Floyd, man. He fucked up. And I don't know. And then at one point, the passengers on that train was like, man, you gonna kill him. Let him go. He ain't resisting no more. Let him go. At least, ease up on him. He did not do that. They was like, man, you about to kill him. So I don't know how to feel about that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, downplay my man's life. He had a hard life. If anything, it's this New York fault because he shouldn't even been on the streets mentally ill like that. He should have been getting some type of help. And I understand you got to want to help yourself, but if you mentally ill, how can you help yourself when you ain't got the mind to help yourself? So he shouldn't even been in society, is what I'm trying to say. And then it took the New York police 12 minutes to arrive on the scene. He kept him in the choke. He said he was keeping him in the chokehold till the police arrived. Anywhere it go, man, it's tragic. It really is. I hate that the young brother lost his life. And then I hate that this Marine, who I thank you for your service, potentially can go to jail because of that. Him trying to, and I get it because at one point I was like, damn, man, he done fucked up. I get why he did it, but he didn't have to, choke my man out, keep him in that chokehold that long. So I don't know how I feel about it. All I can say is that if I was to say that I was against him, that he shouldn't have even did nothing, nah. I mean, when you in a confined place and you can't get out and you got somebody in there acting a fool, man, You don't take no chances, you know. And when I compare it to a incident that happened in Detroit 2 years ago, maybe like a year ago, not 2 years ago, like a year ago, when the at that gas station when it was a Savage went in there and he was buying some like $3 worth of food and his debit card didn't work. Him and the clerk, the gas station clerk, going back and forth, arguing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Gas station clerk locks the door, right? But it's also 3 other men in there that ain't got shit to do with it, that don't know each other, you know, they ain't got shit to do with it. They like, man, open the door, let us out. Don't, you know, why you got the door locked and we ain't here? The clerk was like, I ain't about to unlock the door, you know. So the Savage was like, if you don't open the door, I'm a shoot everybody in here. That's when the other 3 guys was like, and one of the men was like 65 or 67. He was in the 60s, right? He was like, if you don't unlock that door, I'm gonna shoot everybody in here. So when the clerk refused to unlock the door, he pulls out a gun, a pistol, and begins to shoot everybody in that gas station. He shot the old man. He shot, it was 2 friends, 2 dudes that was friends. He shot them. He killed one of them, headshots. He tried to shoot the other one in the head, but he did like that. So the bullets hit his hand. It was what saved his life was the guy had, the Savage had hollow points in his gun, right? So he shot one dude in the head, killed him instantly. He tried to shoot his friend in the head, but he did like that. So when them hollow points hit his hand, it didn't penetrate. They stayed stuck in his hand. It didn't penetrate his brain, his head, right? So that's what kept him alive. He shot the old guy in the ass. And I'm like, man, if I would have been in that gas station and I hear somebody say, if you don't unlock that door, and I know I got my gun on me, I'm going to take action. I'm not going to wait to see what you're going to do. As soon as I see you reaching, first of all, I'm going to distance myself. You ain't going to know I got a gun on me. But if I see that if I think that you reaching for it, if you don't made that type of threat, oh, I'm going to send you to Funky Town. Just that simple. Your ass is going to Funky Town. My life is not to be played with. This is not a game. Life is not a game. And you can't take a risk, because once you don't have it no more, guess what? That's it. Ain't no coming back. There's no coming back. So I get why he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think he meant to do it, you know, to kill that guy, man. You know. So some people saying he got to be punished. Some people think it's going to be a hung jury. Some people think that he's not going to be convicted. Some people are saying that it's either going to be acquitted or it's going to be a hung jury. I want to know what y'all think. It say when when the Marine woke up that morning. Wait, hold on. When the Marine, hold on, man. Damn, I can't even get the messages back on there. I want to read what you said, bro. Okay, it say when the Marine woke up that morning, he had no idea that his life would take such a tragic turn. Yeah. Well, I'll put it this way. He didn't know he was going to end up choking somebody to death that day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he meant to do that, you know. And it's just a tragic situation, man. I feel bad for the mentally ill, the Jordan Neely. I feel bad for him and his family, man. It's plenty of people that really do need help that's out here on these streets, man. They mentally ill and they can be violent, and he didn't get the proper help. He didn't get the proper help, man. New York is a fucked up place. I used to always want to go to New York and live in New York and all that. And I kind of still do, but I can never live in New York. Number one, they liberal as fuck. They got some fucked up gun laws, and they just treat they people, like shit. And I can never live in New York. They would kill somebody's squirrel. How many of y'all know about that squirrel story where he was in New York? He had the squirrel he took in, and it was a raccoon he took in, and he fucked up when he moved to New York. New York, the whoever it was that's in charge of animals or whatever, they came and got the squirrel and the raccoon and put them down. And this guy was famous for his squirrel and raccoon. He had a YouTube channel, and he had a lot, like hundreds of thousands of followers. This squirrel was famous. He's on video feeding the squirrel ice cream. He on video giving, him and the squirrel giving each other high fives and shit. I mean, it was a smart ass squirrel. But as soon as he moved to New York, the animal people came and they put the squirrel, they euthanized the squirrel. They put the squirrel and the raccoon down. Talking about, yeah, we had to test them for rabies, and the only way you can test the animal to see if they got rabies, you got to put them down first. But they can do some shit like that. Why couldn't they help Jordan Neely? Come on, man. Why couldn't they help that guy? Think about it, man. This guy, homeless, hungry, mentally ill. And I can't look over the fact that they said prior to that, he had hit an elderly lady in the face so hard that it fractured her face. So he did have violent tendencies. They said he was on the out of thousands of people, out of all of the millions of people in New York, he was on the list of being the top 50 list of being the most dangerous, mentally ill person in New York. He was on that list. So tell me, why was he able to be out in society like that when clearly the brother had mental issues? So if New York can go and raid somebody's house and take their famous squirrel and raccoon away and put them down, why come they couldn't get this man some help, man? Make it make sense. So it's tragic all the way around. And if the New York police could have made it there in time, maybe they could have made it in time to save this guy, man. I'm not going to judge him for what he did because he's mentally ill. You cannot, unless they really is trying, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for him, but if it's a mentally ill motherfucker that break up in my house right now, and he got an axe or a knife or something, and he's threatening me, and he don't leave when I tell him to leave, then guess what? I don't give a fuck how crazy your ass is. You going to Funky Town. You feel me? So I'm not gonna just blame the state of New York. I'm gonna blame his family too, because his family knew that he was crazy, and they didn't try to do nothing to get him off them streets, man. See, you got to. But now they want to be all on TV giving news conferences. Oh, they didn't have to do him like that. His life mattered. And look, if his life really mattered, then why didn't you get him some help? And I get it. You can't, once a person is grown, you only can do so much, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you've been proven mentally ill, he should have been in an institution, man. But now he's no longer here because of that shit. You feel me? What up, though, Baltimore James? Hey, I ain't gonna say all that, man. I ain't gonna say all that. I don't wish death on no. Well, you know what? Some of these motherfuckers need death though, like the pedophiles and you know, the people that, you know, that break up in your house and brutally, you know, assault you and do horrible things to you. Yeah, savages like that. Yeah, you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you. You know, it's a lot of demonic individuals that's walking around amongst us, and they don't need to be here, especially these pedophiles. You know, I'm hearing that it's like 500,000 kids and stuff that's missing, man. You know, with all that open border shit, man. It's some sick people on this earth, you know, and people profited off of that, you know, situation. I found out today, you know, doing some research, that a lot of those illegals that was coming over here, they was paying people to bring them over there to the border so they can cross over. They was like thousands of dollars to get over here. And I still say, mark my words, when Trump get in and when he attempt to, you know, deport these people, send them back where they came from, I think it's gonna be hell on earth. I don't think they're gonna leave without putting up a fight. Now, how that situation is going to personally affect me and my family, that I don't know. But what I do know is that if the shit hit the fan and, you know, that shit spread and it's in, you know, they try to one up in here, we gonna handle that shit accordingly. You feel me? But anyway, let me ask everybody this: what's the next Funky Town center y'all would like to have next? So, you know, what you got on your list? Anybody? Cause I came close. I came close tonight to getting that Fair 109. But I thought about it. I'm like, I already got 2 shotguns, so I don't need another one. Who that? Okay, Unc, I have a video about the government from the 1970s doing business with extraterrestrials on making our technology better. I'm gonna have to check that out, nephew. I'm gonna have to check that out. Okay, somebody wants the honey badger. What is it about the honey badger other than, you know, it's a popular name, or, you know, what is it about that honey badger? You know, I've seen them and heard about it. You know, I had one in my hand. Spencer had got in one. All I know is that they some high end motherfuckers. You feel me? Okay, Walter Gator said he could have sit his ass. He could have sit his ass down like everyone. You know what? I thought about that shit too, man. Like, you know, here's the thing. You got motherfuckers in there acting crazy. I mean, what's new, man? Come on, you in New York on the subway train. You gonna see all kind of shit. He didn't touch anybody. He might have been getting in people's face, screaming and yelling and all that shit, but did he physically assault anybody? No. But at the same time, I'll take it back to the gas station. This motherfucker made a threat. I'm gonna pop everybody in here if you don't unlock the door. You gonna wait. If you got your gun and you know, it's a hard one, man. I just say it ended up tragic. It ended up tragic, man. And the reason why I can kind of relate to it, because I used to catch the bus, and it'd be a crazy motherfucker on there, and that's a hard one, man. But if you see people being terrorized and people being afraid, and he really, you know, man, I just hate it happen. Like I say, New York, the institutions failed that brother, man. You know, and it's fucked up. But I don't think, me personally, I don't think the jury gonna convict him, man. I think it's gonna be a hung jury, or they're gonna acquit him. You said, and whoever that held them down, they need to be. A lot of people said that too. He wanted to be a hero for the day. Okay, honey badger, Ray lightweight, and it's a honey badger is Ray lightweight and expensive. And whoever held him down need a case too. I'm going to build me a Mark 12. Okay, still waiting on PSA to come out with that MP set. Oh man, shit. Tell me about it, man. What is they gonna call it? Damn, I forget what they gonna call it. Hold on. I might be able to Google that shit because I can't go on YouTube. What is the new PDW that Palmetto State Armory is making in Chamberlain 5.7? Here it is, the X57. That's gonna be the name of it. Now, when that drop, you already know your boy. I gotta have it. It's something about the 5.7 by 28 that I just love, man. You know what I'm saying? So far in my collection, I only got two. I got the PS90, and I got the Caltech P50. I used to have the Rock. I miss my Rock, man. By the way, they got the Rock on clearance at PSA for $300. I came close tonight to getting two Firearms. They got a Rock. And it ain't even a blemish model. I don't give a fuck if it's a blemish or not. Because the first one that I had, it was a blemish model. But when I got it, I didn't see no blemishes on it at all. And I don't give a fuck if it is a scratch or discolored. I don't give a fuck. But they got one for $299. And I need to shut the fuck up because I want to go on there and order, but I'm like, man, at this point, how I feel about guns, to be honest with you, guns are very important. They will save your life. If you don't know what the fuck you doing, you can lose your life. I got like almost 20 guns, maybe like, yeah, I think it's like 18 now. I'm not no shooter, I'll admit it, but I love to have a collection. But at some point, I'm at that stage in my life where where it just don't do shit for me no more. I used to want to get all of the high-end guns, the Daniel Defenses, the BNTs, the Maxim Defenses, just, you know, I had to have it because it was just something to have, in your collection. So when I finally was able to get it, I'm like, man, that Mark 18 I had, to me, it was a regular AR-15. Matter of fact, I liked it, that reticle Firearms, a lot more than I did the Mark 18. So I got rid of it. A lot of the high-end guns that I've owned, that I no longer own, I had issues with it. I never want another B&T ever in my life. The first B&T that I got, it was a Jammatic, man. It just didn't work. So I ended up selling that to Spencer. Then I ended up getting what was that last B&T I had? The TP9. Oh my God. Another Jammatic, and I couldn't stand that trigger. That trigger was horrendous. Have you ever had seen a trigger that instead of you pulling it, the bitch slide? like you on a like a conveyor belt or something. Like you at a factory, you got them conveyor belts that slide the stuff to you. That's how the fucking trigger was on there. So when it did shoot, it was horrible. But that motherfucker was a Jammatic too. So a lot of that shit is just hyped up. Well, then you got people on one side, well, the Daniel Defense, it's quality. You guaranteed, 400,000 rounds down the barrel, and it ain't gonna do, man, I'm not trying to shoot that many motherfucking times. I just want something to get a funky ass savage on me and call it a day. You hear me? Because I would hate to, use my $2,000 Mark 18 on a funky ass savage, knowing that it's gonna be sitting in the police evidence room for the next year or two. Hell, I got a gun that was stolen from me like 7-8 years ago, and they won't give it back to me. Talking about I got to get a lawyer. I said, can I represent myself? They said, nope, you got to get a lawyer. Well, guess what? The lawyers I talk to, they want $250 an hour. I'd be damned if I spend that kind of money over a gun that I bought for myself back in 2017, 2018, that I paid less than, well, it might have been like $4 something for it. It was a Canic TP9 Elite, and I'm not gonna do that. When I got all these other guns, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I would rather, if I'm gonna send if I send your funky ass to Funky Town, it's gonna be with my cheap ass, reliable ass Paul Madel State Armory. That way you can take that motherfucker and I just buy me another. Spend another $300-400 and get me another one. I'm tired of all this high-end shit that I just sit in my fucking, gun cabinet and just let the motherfucker sit there, under lock and key, and it's collecting dust. You feel me? I got 6 fucking guns in there that I've never shot before. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't got no fucking urge to go shoot. I just wanted them just to have the bitches. So what the fuck I look like getting that shotgun, that Fear 109, and then the pilot was like, T, they got that 109 is only $179, which ain't shit. But what's the whole point? Like the all me, even a week ago, I would have went for that shit and bought that. You hear me? I would have bought that a week ago. But okay, I buy it. I paid the $20 FFL fee because Spencer licks out for me, show me love. It's only $20. But once I get it, I'm going to look at it, play with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to shoot it. I'm going to play with the motherfucker, then do a YouTube video, unboxing video, and sit that bitch in the gun cabinet with the rest of them motherfuckers and let that bitch sit, man. So I'm not about to do that. I ain't even shot the KSG yet. I shot that other KSG I had, but the new one that I got to replace the other one, I ain't shot that yet. I ain't shot that TS12 yet. I ain't shot that Strybog and 45 yet. I ain't shot that Call of Duty MP5 PTR yet. What else? Shit, I think it's like 2 more or something I ain't shot. I'm over it, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as I know, oh yeah, that Scorpion 3 Plus, I ain't shot that bitch yet. But see, the thing over there is, as long as I got my regular guns that I have shot and I know that's reliable, in case a savage try me, break up in my house, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to shoot them. That's what it's called, a gun. I'm a gun collector. I ain't got to shoot it, brother. But I'm not. The days of me, like I had it real bad a few years ago, where every 2 weeks or something I was buying a fucking gun. That's when I had like the most guns I ever had in my collection at one point. Probably was like about 24, 25 of them. Now I got 18 of them bitches. And I'm about to get rid of them. I think it's time for that Galil Ace to go, and and the Chris Vector in 10mm, because I don't want to get rid of the one in 45 because that motherfucker looks so sweet, so sexy. Anytime when you holding a gun and you gripping that motherfucker and your dick get hard, shit, nigga, hold on to that motherfucker. That's a bad motherfucker. But see, now I don't get excited like that. They just don't, that X57 that PSA got coming out, don't that get me excited? I can see myself getting that in the future, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the closest thing I had to an MP7 was that BNT TP9, but it was a Jammatic, and it, I said, oh shit, they got this in the movies, it's in the Call of Duty, it's in Resident Evil 4, the game Resident Evil 4, I gotta have it, got that motherfucker, shot it that one time, and I hated the way the trigger, the trigger pull on it, and it was a Jammatic, and then it became ugly to me, and I ended up getting rid of that and buying with that one gun. I ended up getting me another Z-Pap and that Scorpion 3 Plus from that one gun. So yeah. I mean, it's true. Don't say it like that, nephew. But a lot of people, till you got them gun, you ain't shooting. I mean, it's my prerogative, man. You know what I'm saying? It's my prerogative. I got them just to have them, and I ain't even one to be flexing. And if anything, be inspired, but get it for the right reason, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of when it comes to guns. I'm not gonna call myself a bad example because I never said I was a shooter. You know what I'm saying? I'm a collector, which means that's just like some people buying sports cards. Basketball cards, football cards. Collecting they cards and shit. Or you got people that sneakerheads that buying shoes that they know they're not gonna never wear because it's in their collection. You know what I'm saying? My brother got boxes and boxes. He into the NBA, and he got boxes of cards that's still in the package, wrapped up, because it's a collection. You know what I'm saying? But when you get a gun collection, people want to frown. Oh, you need to shoot it. I had so many people to the point to where I'm fucking fed up coming at me. T, you just wasting gun. Motherfucker, I ain't talking to none of y'all in here now. I'm talking about mind your own motherfucking business. And when you buy the gun and give it to me, guess what? I still ain't got to shoot it because you gave it to me. It's mine now. I'll do what the fuck I want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So, live and let live. I don't get into people's business. Like I had people, I ain't gonna name no names, but I had people sneak dissing me, making videos. Oh, you ain't shit if you ain't shooting your guns. You ain't, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. All I care about is that motherfucker going bang, one of my most trusted guns going bang. If you climb through my motherfucking window, I'm gonna send your stinking ass to Funky Town. It's just as simple as that. Because I was gonna say I'm a bad example. No, I'm not. I'm just being me. I ain't got to be no motherfucking expert. That's another thing a lot of motherfucking haters like to do. Come on my shit and be like, you got all them guns and all that. What's your training like? Let me see the buzz out. Bitch, fuck you. If I can't shoot nobody that you see where that flag at, that's my house ain't no big ass mansion. If I can't get your ass and I let you get me, then I deserve to be got. And if I can't get you, then I don't need to have no motherfucking guns. See, this is the point to where you can't give a fuck what other people's opinion is of you or what you think that you should be doing. What they think. Well, if you care about what other people got to say, then you a weak-minded individual in the first place. I used to be one of them motherfuckers like, oh man, they gonna talk about me and all that and shit back in the day when I was, stupid and dumb and gave a fuck, but I don't give a fuck what nobody got to say about me. They can kiss my ass and suck my dick. You feel me? Now I'm turning into the old T. Y'all gonna broth the old fucking T out now, and I'm trying to be better. You feel me? But yeah, don't Yeah, we got shoot spotters all over Detroit. You can't shoot. I mean, the only way you can get away with shooting now is on New Year's Eve at midnight. You can get away with shooting then. But other than that, you try to shoot some shit, police gonna be here. It's crazy how they so fast to arrive, but if you call them on the phone from a home invasion, it take them forever to get to your fucking house. Love me, like me, all of me, brother. Not just I'm trying to get paid, and then, like I say, I'm trying to tone it down. Every word out of my mouth ain't got to be no cuss word, man. I look at some of my old videos, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at some of my old videos and I cringe, and I can't believe the shit that was coming out of my mouth, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, judging my old behavior and nothing like that, but I'm just saying, damn. I was just saying a lot of, uh, I was wilding out. I was wilding out, man. And I'm like, you know what? At some point in your life, you gonna grow. If you don't grow, then there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You should not be doing the same shit you did 4-5 years ago. You want to elevate and shit. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm not knocking nobody who got a YouTube channel. They do a lot of cursing or cussing or whatever. Do you knock yourself out? But just for me, I just want to clean it up a little bit. And then it got to the point to where YouTube started putting strikes on my channel. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want the channel to disappear, man. I poured too much into the channel and got too much love for y'all to risk losing my channel and had to start it all over again, building it from the foundation on up, brick by brick again. I put too much in it just to let them take it. And I said, you know what? When they hit me with that strike, because I think they said I violated they policy. They say I was on some type of graphic, like porno shit or whatever, like graphic pornography type shit, because I did a video called Get Strapped or Get Clapped, and in that video I described a home invasion and I was graphical about it. You know what I'm saying? And they hit me with a strike because of it. But I'm only telling the truth. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but I can't risk them. You get 3 strikes on YouTube, that's it. They taking your shit. Hey, Walter, yo, wish me luck going to the ATM. Brother, I'm wishing you luck, but I hope you don't need my luck. If you are armed and you savage ready and you watching your environment and seeing who's lurking and who watching you or whatever, you good. You Gunfreaknation, man. You good. I know you good. I don't went to the ATM late. I try to avoid going at night, late at night, but I've been to the ATMs here late at night. And I always be watching over my shoulder too. So you got to be savage ready at all times. But man, I've been on here. I meant to stay on here no more than about 20 minutes, man, because that shit, I was tired and sleepy like a motherfucker after that 5-hour after that 5-hour live that we did, that epic 5-hour live that we did last night with me and James Walker and Saint the Realist. I didn't think I was gonna go live, but I'm like, I want to touch, see what everybody's opinion on Biden, getting his son out of jail. I mean, if he didn't do it, I don't think he ever went to jail, but he pardoned him anyway, so they can't, put his ass in jail now. He did what a father would do. A good father would do shit. That's my opinion. I would have did the same thing. Yeah, definitely watch your 6. What up though, Lee 77? Anyway, before I jump off, anybody got some questions for me? before I jump off. And then I gotta figure out, they got Jeopardy where you can play it online and shit. I'm gonna start doing that with y'all. Where y'all hit the link and come in and play some online Jeopardy with me and shit. It could be about guns, home invasion. You can create and make your own, custom Jeopardy and shit. So I'm working on that so I can have some of y'all join in online with me and play it with me. But shout out to everybody in here, all 44 people. You feel me? Appreciate every single one of y'all. That the Indian dude, the Pache, whatever his name is, Pache, I think he's a badass, out cold, loyal, bad motherfucker. That's what I think. But I think they not gonna approve him when he go before the hearing. You know how you got to be approved by the Senate and all that, and I think they gonna try to drag him, man. They already talking shit about him. You feel me? Just like the who was the other dude? The Gates. What's his name? Gates. His last name is Gates. That nigga, man. He. When I say nigga, I'm talking about everybody, black, white, and everything in between. That nigga just stepped down. Cause he already knew he wasn't gonna get the green light. They was gonna vote his ass out. He wasn't gonna make it through the approval thing. So they trying to say that this new the Indian dude that Trump picked, he probably not gonna make it through the process. Hopefully he will, cause he seemed like he is, a cool motherfucker. Who? Nah, that's not the dude. The female Bundy. Okay. Oh, yeah. But I thought that the Indian dude was gonna be up over it. I think she cool. Now, some came up. I was watching one of them news channels and shit, and something did come up where she said that where they say she praised Pence for not bending over for Trump and well, I didn't mean to say that, but for he did something. Trump was trying to get him to say that that voting shit. And Pence was like, well, my oath is to the Constitution, and I'm not going to do that, or whatever it was he was trying to do. So, yeah, and she approved of it, but then she deleted it, and now she was saying that the election indeed was stolen and all that. I guess she's trying to get back on Trump's good side, and maybe it's working because he's trying to make her the attorney. I don't know what that the Indian guy gonna be in charge of, but he seemed cool though. Ha! Mm. You know what? At this point in my life, marriage don't mean shit to me. It don't mean a motherfucking thing, even though my parents was together for 40 years, till death do they part. But me and my woman, we share, we just, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. That shit don't mean nothing without love. You got a lot of motherfuckers, you got a lot of couples, excuse my language, because I'm trying to get this monetized, you feel me? But you got a lot of people that get married and get divorced. The shit don't work out. If you love each other, you love each other. You don't need a piece of paper to, and I get it, you get your benefits and all that, but you don't have to be married. I can, if I'm no longer here, here's my real. I'm gonna leave this. I want my son to have this right here, and I want my woman to have this right here. You can have that took care, with your lawyer and all that. You ain't got to get, the marriage certificate is just a piece of paper. It's a certificate, man. You can be married, spiritually married. You know what I'm saying? So at this point in my life, I might change my way of thinking. She might change her way of thinking, you know. But right now, we don't make it's not that big of a deal, because in my lifetime, I've seen so many people get married and it don't last. You know what I'm saying? It really don't. I think it's overhyped, you know? Yeah. Get married and be unhappy. And then that's when you have all that cheating and all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So I just go with the flow. You feel me? Any more questions? Baltimore James, you must be married. Nephew, you must be married. Are you married? You sounding like a married man now. Are you married? Baltimore James. Baltimore James, are you married? Any more questions before I jump off? Once again, thank you, fam, for that super chat. You feel me? I appreciate it. Okay. All right, man. Hey, don't get married. Don't get married. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I ain't putting that out there like that. Okay, what's the worst gun that I purchased? Shit. The worst gun that I ever owned that I regret ever buying. Shit, I probably could say two of them motherfuckers, and I'm gonna take it right back, man. That fucking BNT, that GHM, which stand for Grasshopper Mouse, and that TP9, man. I will trust me when I say this. I will never ever buy a BNT. People swear by that. You know, people. You know that's a Swiss company that make that, and the quality is there, but it didn't work in my case. I tried it twice, and I got the same results. Maybe I needed to break it in, but you got to remember that GHM that I bought, that was used already. And the dude I bought it from said he had just cleaned it, didn't have no problems with it. Well, he lied to me. He lied to me. No, that TP9, that was brand spanking new. I gave up 3 guns to get that one gun. Was it 3 guns? No, it was 2 guns. It was 2 guns. I gave up 2 guns and some money to get that one gun, and I let it sit in my motherfucking gun cabinet for over a year, well over a year, and when I took it to the range to finally shoot the bitch, I got range footage of me shooting it. I think it's members only. That video was so fucked up. I said I could never make that public. So I tortured my paid members, and they had to watch that horrible shit. But since then, I went out, purchased me a tripod to put my phone on, so the next time when I do go to the range, it'd be of good, quality and shit, Because that last video when I went to the range, the camera angle was horrible. You couldn't even see me shoot the fucking gun. Okay, let me see. My next Funky Town sender is a AK-47 pistol or a 300 Blackout. Sig, Sawyer. Man, come on. Look, you cannot go wrong with neither one of them. Okay? Listen. Either it's a Z-Pap or a Draco. Them motherfuckers ain't gonna let you down. And then that Rattler, oh, I wish you can hold guns on a live. I'll go get mine right now. And by the way, let me tell you this. The Rattler I got it's just the upper. The lower is a ballistic advantage. I got that Rattler. I ended up with that Rattler because I initially had bought a Copperhead. That is a MPX. That's the smallest variant of the MPX. It's called the MPX Copperhead. I thought I was getting the MPXK, but I later found out it was the copperhead. I thought it was the MPXK because it was black. For those who can remember, when the copperheads first came out, they were like a tan color, like a FDE, flat dark earth color, right? So when I saw a black one, for whatever reason, I thought it was the MPXK. Got that motherfucker and didn't like it. So I threw it up on arms list, and I said I'm willing to trade for an MPXK. So a guy hit me up, and he was like, I'll do a trade, but I don't have an MPXK. I got the Rattler. I said, oh, shit, a Rattler? 300 blackout? He was like, it's just the upper, though. But I got the lower and all that, the ballistic. I said, fuck it, man. I don't like the copperhead. So let me get that Rattler. So we made a deal where I gave him my copperhead, and I think like $150. Because them Rattlers, them motherfuckers, they pricey. They expensive as fuck. So I got it, shot it 3 times. In the whole 4 years I had that motherfucker, I shot it 3 times. Each time I shot it, it ran flawless. And it's a bad man, you can't go wrong with either one of them. Put it that way. Yes, you live and you learn. What's the most? You said what's the most you had back in the day? I don't know what that symbol represent, man. You trying to say what's the most pussy I ever had back in the day? Oh man, don't get me started. You hear me? Don't get me started. Because T back in the day was a motherfucker. You hear me? I look totally different. Imagine me without my beard, and imagine me without my beard. I ain't got my mustache now. I purposely cut my mustache. I don't like the mustache no more. I like this look right here. But imagine me without my beard, but I got some, wavy, silky, straight hair and shit. I never had to perm my shit. I always had, I took from my mom and my dad. You feel me? My mom was half black, half Italian. Well, my mom's dad was half black and Italian, which some of that transferred over to her. And my father was Blackfoot Indian, so and then my face was a lot more slimmer. I was a lot more slimmer, and I had my hair, you know what I'm saying, with, wavy and all that. So a lot of women, you know what I'm saying? I got old pictures of me. You know what I'm saying? I used to get the women, man. I take a picture of myself with my hand out. I'm a Prince fan, right? So I put my purple shirt on, my purple silk shirt on, button up and shit, have it, unbuttoned so you can see my chest, hairs like that. And then I'll take a picture with my hand out, baby. I'll take a picture just like that with my hand out like that. She like, send me another one. My pussy getting, I'm getting wet. I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm getting wet. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, later that night, I'll be over there at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I had, I need to write a book about my life, because at one point, man, I had an addiction for women. You know what I'm saying? Where, I did some, yeah, I was kind of a fucked up individual. You know what I'm saying? A cheater. I did a lot of fucked up shit. I can have my woman. I remember one time I took my baby, I ain't talking about you. But I remember one time I took my woman and her mama to the grocery store. And and while they're in there shopping, I see another beautiful woman in the parking lot. And man, I got some crazy stories, man. We ended up talking and shit while they shopping, and I ended up taking the other woman that I just met back to my crib. You know what I'm saying? And she was a freak too. Wait, hold, no, I ain't did. No, I ain't talking about that. I ain't talking about that with you. No, you don't. This was way before I met you. This was way before I met you. No, because in that incident, I when y'all was calling me saying where you at and all that stuff, I said the police said my car, said something was wrong with the car, and I needed, my tags or something, and that they was gonna either tow the car or I had to leave to go back home. Nah, I ain't talking about that. No, I didn't even know you then. I ain't even know you then. How you gonna? Didn't I tell you that when that incident happened, I had told her, man, Save-A-Lot been up there forever, man. So you can't say shit. You can't say nothing, man. Y'all don't got me. What you mean I was gone? I was there in that parking lot. You getting it mixed up. I ain't did nothing. I ain't, man. But anyway, yeah, I was wild. And, I remember one time, I had laid up with like 28 women in like 2 weeks. So I was a whore. You know what I'm saying? I was a whore. I was a slut. I was a whore. Do I regret it? No, I do not, because I had a funky good time, a funky ass good time. I think at some point in your life when you're young, you need to experience life and have fun. You know what I'm saying? You must have fun. My brother Rob, who passed away last August, we used to clown on him because he loved prostitutes. My brother Rob had an issue, where he would pick up, prostitutes and shit, man. And I used to criticize him and, Rob, you fucking with too many motherfucking prostitutes, man. Ain't you scared you gonna catch something? That nigga didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's strapped up and all that. But now that he's no longer here, I'm glad he fucked every single one of them, because that's what got his rocks off. That pussy was his joy. You know what I'm saying? It was his joy. So I'm glad that he did what he did, because he enjoyed his life while he's here. He's no longer here. So the moral to the story is, enjoy your life while you got it. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Have plenty of fun. And back in my day when I was young, a lot younger, I loved, shit, man. Look, man, I need to write a book. I did things that I'm not proud of. You know what I'm saying? I the type of women that I used to, huh? Who? You said not that far. What you talking about? Huh? Listen, I've dealt with women. When you young and dumb and wild and shit, it's different types of women out there. You got classy women that's sophisticated and shit. And then you got your ratchet women that's, whores and sluts and shit. I was a whore and a slut. You know what I'm saying? I was a serial cheater and shit. I wasn't necessarily a good guy when it came to that. I just was selfish and just wanting to have fun. All that shit, I can have one of the most beautiful women in the world. But at some point, you're going to get bored and you're going to see somebody that look just as good, if not better, or even don't look as good. Sometimes you just want some new pussy. When you get tired of the same old pussy and it's boring and shit. So you want to venture out and you want to explore and have fun. You know what I'm saying? So I made my mistakes. I made my mistakes and shit. Especially if I wasn't in no committed relationship, I've dealt with prostitutes before. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Who am I to sit in judgment? Trump dealt with. Why do you think I was so pro-Trump? Because he fucking with porn stars and shit, man. Look at You know, to prove my point, look how, you know, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. This is Beyonce. But he got tired of her pussy. He wanted new pussy. He wanted new pussy. It's just as simple as that. For you to be a man and to be faithful, you got to be strong. Relationships is not easy, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of components that go into a relationship. I like to compare it to an engine, like a car engine, a motor, you know, in a car. It just don't work by itself. It takes a whole lot of components to get that motherfucker to run smooth and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got the head gaskets, you got the water pump, you got the battery, you got so many different components to that engine. But in order for that motherfucker to run smooth, you got to take care of it. You got to give it attention. You got to check the fluid levels every now and then. Make sure you ain't low on oil. Make sure you got your coolant in it. That's the same thing with a relationship. You have to feed into it. You got to nurture it. You got to cultivate it. You have to build it from the seeds up. And if you don't have a solid foundation, that's the core of your relationship, is your foundation. If you got an unstable foundation, how you gonna build that house of love on that shaky foundation? If your foundation ain't solid, that shit eventually gonna come all falling down. It's gonna tumble down. So it takes a lot. And I didn't want to do that, because I know the type of man I was. I know the type of man when I'm out with my woman and I see another woman that's out there and she got, you know, revealing clothes on, big titties. I'm a titty man. I'm not no ass man. I'm a titty man. First and foremost. And I ain't trying to disrespect no woman, but it is what it is, damn it. I'm a titty man. I love titties. It don't matter whether they big or whether they small. It don't fucking matter. As long as you got nipples, I'm good. I'm gonna suck them motherfuckers, whether they like a pancake or whether they big like fucking watermelons. I don't give a fuck. I'm a titty man. So I be out with my woman and I see another woman, man, I had wandering eyes. And that's why I said, like I said last night, I said I love the crazy women because I used to be with women. Nigga, if you take one more look, I'm gonna cut your motherfucking throat. I'm gonna cut your damn head. I'm gonna chop your head. I like the damn type of women. My eyes ain't always wondering. Where have you seen me looking at other women? All the time. That's some bullshit. Just like you ain't looking at no other niggas, right? Yeah, you know how to do it slick. All right. Well, well, you know who the fuck I am and what you dealing with and who you got. I ain't never tried to fake the funk and pretend to be somebody else. The thing of it is, you can look, but you can't touch. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna dive too deep. Nick, look, you be on Instagram all the time looking at other niggas. Yeah, so don't get mad at me when I do it. Shit. But anyway, next question. Because I be done told my whole life story. I done did some things. You hear me? Damn. Okay, any more? What? So you feeling some type of way because I'm talking about my past? What you mean it's not my past? What have I ever did to you? Personally, what have I ever did to you? So how am I disrespecting you? See, that's what I'm talking about. Women can be complicated, man. They can be complicated. So you, in other words, let's boil this all the way down. You don't trust me. That's basically what you're saying is you don't trust me. I wouldn't give two fucks if you go online talking about niggas. Why would I give a fuck? We live together. How you gonna get out and cheat if we live together? What make it make sense? We're around each other damn near 24/7. Now I don't know what your ass do when you be over yonder, but still though. I would love to trust you. Do you trust me? Hey, we about to change the subject. It's getting a little bit too heated over here. And, I just came on here to chop it up and talk about Biden, pardoning his son and all of the shit that's happening over there in Syria. The world is on fire right now, man. You know what I'm saying? The world is on fire and we need to be prepared. You feel me? We need to be ready. You know what I'm saying? A civil war, a full-fledged civil war has just broken out over there in Syria. You know what I'm saying? You got ISIS motherfuckers. You got Al-Qaeda motherfuckers. You got other groups fighting to overthrow the Assad regime. CIA might even be behind that shit. You feel me? So you can't trust nobody, especially the government, and never, ever trust somebody that wants to take away your guns. Because they mean you no good, all right? So, yeah, any more questions? Okay, we went from, let's see the next. Let me see, oh yeah, I shot that Rock 7. It's in the video, but it's members only, man. I shot that Rock 7. Like I said, the camera angle on that motherfucker was so fucked up that I didn't even want to release it to the general, public. But that Rock 5.7, smooth in the motherfucker. But what can you expect? The 5.7 by 28. That round it's basically don't have no recoil. You feel me? No recoil whatsoever. So yeah, it's smooth, and I miss the rock, and I can see myself getting me another one in the near future. You feel me? Yeah, you got to be ready. Baltimore James, why you tired of Putin making threats, man? I mean, nephew, why you tired of him making threats though? Because while you saying that, I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you, nephew. You need to be tired of the United States biting, meddling in other people's affairs and instigating shit and prolonging what's gonna be the. Do you really think Ukraine really can whip Russia's ass and Russia's a nuclear power? It ain't gonna happen. And you do realize that Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union back in the day, and they broke away, right? And you do realize that Ukraine is on the border of Russia, right? And you do know Ukraine trying to get in NATO, and if they get in NATO, then that means that the United States and they allies, the other NATO members, can put bases, military bases, on their territory, right? Russia not gonna have it. We wouldn't tolerate that shit if Mexico did some fuck shit like that, or Canada did some fuck shit. We wouldn't tolerate that. We'd be invading them, right? So I would be making threats too if you arming the people I'm at war with, and you arming them all these sophisticated weapons. It's basically like they're at war with the United States. It's a proxy war. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I really don't. Because Ukraine is not worth me and my family losing our life because a fucking nuclear war don't went off because of these dumbasses. He got every right to feel that way, man. You know, I'm tired of people going around acting like the United States is some perfect ass country when it's actually a messy ass country that go around the world putting their nose in other people's bullshit and, you know, in other people's business, instigating shit, sparking up shit. We got dirty motherfuckers that do that shit, like the CIA. You know, top secret shit that do that, man. Mind your fucking business. Just like that fucking, don't get me started on that 2003 Iraq war when Bush and them lied to the whole entire country and sold that war to the American people, and over 3,000 soldiers lost their lives. Hundreds of thousands of Iraqis lost their lives. Over what? The country even more fucked up now. It created ISIS. So, yeah, man, if I was Putin, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm not going to say that. I ain't going to say it. I'm not going to do it. You say PSA has a new 5.7 pistol for sale. It made by Texas or something like that. I heard that they got a rock, but it's like the compact version of it. You know, you got the full size like the one I had, and then you got the compact model that's coming out. You know, then I hear that they supposed to be making the Glock, the dagger in like 40 caliber and 10 millimeter. Hey man, appreciate that Machiavelli. In my lifetime, I I did a lot of bizarre shit, crazy shit. At one point, you know, like I said, mainly, man, you know, women and shit, you know, and you know, it's just I always gonna appreciate a woman, man. I appreciate my woman. You know, have I been perfect? No, I haven't. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. You know, love is love. You feel me? Love is love. You got to make your woman feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And you got to satisfy her. I had a friend, or got a friend, and you know, his woman stepped out on him, you know. But, you know, I told you, man, if you not being intimate, if you ain't fucking your woman, then your woman gonna go out and find some dick from somebody else to get fucked. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure you take care of your woman. That's first and foremost. So you crying, while you crying to me, I told you, it's something called Viagra. It's something called Cialis. It's something called what's that other one? It's another one too. Vitra or whatever. You know, you take that pill, maybe 20, 30 minutes, you know, you get in the mood, and you go to work on it. You know what I'm saying? You keep her satisfied, you know, happy wife, happy life. You know, but what can you expect? That's just like my cousin Pookie. He told me back in the day, before they came up with that magical Viagra and shit, man, when you got my age, you just fucked up. You can't be mad at your woman if your woman step out on you and cheat on you. What can you do? You know, it happened to a lot of the old heads and shit, man. We didn't have all that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Just thank God when they didn't have it. I was a young, you know, I didn't have no problems, you know, getting erect and hard and all that and shit. But, you know, hey, I don't really need the shit now. You did, you know, but I still like to have it because it's always good to have on the side, because anybody can use a little bit of enhancement. You feel me? And I ain't trying to get hit with no strike on my YouTube channel, YouTube. But I'm just saying, if you don't satisfy her, somebody else will be. So make sure. And then, even then, you know, if you can't get it up or whatever, you know, it happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? It happens to the best of us sometimes. We may be tired. You dig? I'm older now, a lot older. You dig? So you got to keep that spice in your life. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the alternative is, it's toys out there you can buy. It's strap-ons you can buy that's hollowed out where you can put your little limp dick in that little hollowed out part and wear her ass out. You know what I'm saying? Wear her ass out. I'm the freaky motherfucker that like to have that shit just to have it. You know what I'm saying? I got a white man dick. You dig? I'll show you the motherfucker. I ain't no shame to my motherfucking game. I'm a freak. Gun freak. I'm a freak, but the most important, it's the art of eating pussy. You dig? You got to know how to eat it good, and I ain't one of them motherfuckers that, man, that's nasty. I can never do that to you. Nasty. You fall for that. How can you lick that and eat that and they bleed it? But motherfucker, I ain't as bad as my brother. My brother Eddie, that nigga called it red wings. He called it red wings. He liked to do it when they on their period. I said, you one nasty motherfucker. I can never, ever eat a woman out while she on her cycle, man. Nah, that's just too nasty. But my Eddie, I'm sorry if you watching this. I ain't trying to put your personal business out there, but nigga, you need to be talked about when you doing some shit like that. You feel me? But that's something that I love to do. What do you think? Y'all think I'm just joking when I be like, pussy hair? You think I'm making that shit up? Shit, I'll tear it up. That's one thing. You would never hear no complaints about that. You feel me? But it is what it is, man. You got to keep them happy, keep them satisfied. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they make the world go around. You know what I'm saying? Without them, it wouldn't be Earth. It wouldn't be no population, man. You know what I'm saying? So we need each other. I don't know what all this. I don't even want to get into what Obama them did to the LWGBQ and all that, man. I ain't gonna get into that, but I can't understand it because I'm not that way. But we ain't passing judgment on nobody. What their preference is. I love everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't judging nobody or looking down on nobody because they gay or that's not in my heart to judge somebody. Live your life and put your happiness first. That's all I can say. It ain't my business. Don't bring the shit around me because I don't want no parts of it. But at the same time, I still love you, nephew. Because I had a nephew that was away. He since passed away. So who am I to get on here and have hatred towards people? No, man. Be yourself. Live your life. Do you. And I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? Just don't. But I've seen some that be arrogant that get mad and be like, motherfucker, I'm gonna put this motherfucking dress on and all that shit, and you gonna accept this shit and all that and accept me. Nah, I don't need to be around all that. I'm sorry. That's too much for me. You feel me? I'm not, It ain't, and I don't want no parts of it, man. I just can't relate to that shit. You feel me? You know what, man? Next time when my brother come over here, man, I'm gonna have to go live, man. And shit, that nigga, he will admit to you. He ain't ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? He's not ashamed of it. You did? Hey, baby, did you say anybody ever ate you out on your period? Before me? No, I didn't do it. I'm just saying before she met me. Are you listening? What you mean before I did? I ain't. Come on, don't start no rumors and no lie now. I ain't that nasty now, huh? You said somebody did do it one time. Okay, yeah, because I know you not nasty enough to let somebody do something like that to you. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 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 yeah. You know. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to jump off, man. I gotta work on this these beats and shit, man. I'm getting ready to drop that new Gunfreaknation album and shit, man. The Gunfreak music album, and you know, I gotta get back to this. What time is it, baby? Okay. Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Shit. And I gotta finish. Anyway, any final questions, y'all? Any final questions before I jump off? Cause I know all that cussing and nastiness I got. I hope YouTube, please don't strike my channel. I knew y'all was gonna bring that shit out of me, man. But hopefully I won't get no strike. I know they ain't gonna monetize this shit, and I can't go back and edit it because this shit is live. You feel me? Nah, I don't sleep. I'm a fucking vampire, man. I be up all night and shit. You feel me? It is what it is. Any more final questions? Yeah, I didn't get that, you know, and I don't think he was making this shit up when he said that he'd eat a woman out while she on her cycle. He called it red rings, REDWINGS, red rings. So I guess the lips is the rings. I'm gonna talk to him about that, and hopefully, I'm hoping he was playing, but a part of me don't think his ass was playing. You feel me? I don't think he was playing. You did? So yeah, it's crazy, man. But I got all these samples and shit in MIDI, and I'm trying to organize my damn. I gotta transfer this shit over. And I'm getting ready to make some beats and shit, man. I'm about to jump off and the fuck, get this shit transferred over, and I gotta get this shit going and shit, man. All right. But anyway, man, you know, it was good talking to y'all. I mean, y'all never did tell me how y'all feel about, Biden, pardoning his son. You got to put yourself in the position as being a father, man. If you was the president, you had the power to get your son out of trouble or stop him from going to jail. I don't know if he already in jail. I don't think he had been sentenced yet. But, I mean, I would have, me personally, of course, man, I'm going to look out for my kid. You know, I don't give a fuck if you a grown man or not. You still my kid. You feel me? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, man, in my next video, on my next live, when I say red rings, that's going to be an inside joke. That's between me and the 46 of y'all that's in here. So when I say red rings, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, nephew, thank you for always being here, being the Gun Freak Nation family, man. Y'all not no subscribers or nothing to me, man. Y'all like, family. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna even say members. I do have paid members though, but I'm just saying, I think it's a beautiful thing when you have people not only in the United States, in the great United States of America, but you got people all over the world that tune in to this channel because my message resonates with a lot of people. And through this thing called Wi-Fi and the internet and all that shit, we can connect and tap in and communicate and link up virtually online. You know what I'm saying? So never in a million years that I think that I would have a channel that touch a lot of people that, I mean, y'all really do fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? This channel started off as a beat making channel. That's where the name TElectrik came from. That's my producer name. But like I say, it ain't about me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me change it to Gunfreak Nation. It's bigger than me at this point. And I don't see nothing wrong with people being legally armed and having that right to be legally armed and having the right to and the wisdom to protect themselves and not depend on the government or the police or whoever else to come to their defense. You dig? You got to be your first responder. All right? You got to be the one to put that savage down. You can't be on the phone dialing 911. Help me, please, hurry. I hope you get here in time. They inside my house. You cannot do that, man. A lot of people don't lost their life like that. I appreciate that, man. Yoki, salute to her. I get it. Yeah. A lot of this shit is like, you got the higher up politicians that's like in Washington, D.C. and shit. Then you got the local politicians, man. A lot of that shit, you start from the ground up, from the roots. And, you got to just know who to vote for. A lot of people just done gave up. And it's like, what's the point of voting when everything gonna remain the same? It ain't gonna change shit. I don't necessarily believe in that, but a lot of people I know do. A lot of people I know didn't even vote in this election and shit. I'm glad Trump won, though. Glad he won that. Cause guess what? We ain't gotta worry about nobody trying to ban braces. We ain't got to worry about nobody. We about to do another so-called assault weapons ban. We about to take away your AR-15s. We ain't got to worry about that. I hope we ain't got to worry about that shit. But I don't think Trump gonna do no bullshit like that. I don't think he gonna flip-flop on us like that. Baby, we got to go to the grocery store today. We got to hit up Mike, all right? Or Walmart or something. You know how I love to go live when it's all entertainment. You feel me? But right here is Machine 3. And I'm probably about to throw something together right quick. See what, experiment with some different VSTs I got. And, call it the night, man. You know what I'm saying? Call it the night. How long I been on here? Damn, almost 2 hours. Shit. I'm about to jump off, y'all. Any final questions, though? Man, whoever that asked me how much I had in my lifetime, y'all was about to start something. I had to get off that topic real fast. But once again, baby, you got that wrong. I ain't never did you like that. I ain't never grabbed no woman while you and your mom was at the... I know what day you talking about, but I'm talking about something long before you was in the picture. Huh? Yeah, the key word was you right. That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. I did only in my life only have a few girlfriends, but I had a whole lot of hoes. A whole lot of hoes. And you know that. Why you say whatever? Huh? You must be horny or something. You ready for me? Shit. Man. Damn. You said what now? You say you ready? All the time. All right. Hey, we about to go over to the TNV. And hey, I'm about to go over to the team. Listen, I'm about to turn this channel off and go over to me and her channel, right? Called Life with TNV. And y'all about to see me make some beats, but I have to handle something. You know, right quick, I'm going to handle something, and then I'm going to come right back live. You feel me? Oh, that's what's up, man. I'm Walter. I'm glad you made it back okay. You feel me? I'm glad you made it back. All right, since there was no more questions, I am about to, oh, yes. Okay, what's this bullshit? This one, this didn't used to pop up and shit. I don't know what the hell is going on with this shit right here. Let me see. Let me get some. Is my speaker still on? Hold on, y'all. Just hold on. I'm trying to get this situated. You feel me? I'm trying to get this situated. And baby, I'm about to come on up in there. You feel me? Let me see. Hold on. The hell? What is this right here? Trying to load up something right quick, have a little, some music, some of the beats I made in the background. Hey, baby, you know what I want to do? I want to go live on the other channel, and I want you to put on a concert. Singing stuff over the, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Katie? That's me right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That won't be on Gunfreak. That's just somebody to sing. You know what I'm saying? To sing to, you dig? But in the meantime, your boy T, I'm about to leave. You don't need to see that. You feel me? Cause she just said something that, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to see that. And I know y'all ain't trying to see that unless you're gay or something like that. You feel me? You dig? You figurine it? You dig? But anyway, Gunfreaknation, I love you. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. And I'm about to have some fun. You feel me? I got my little music on that I made, and oh baby, I'm on my way. Oh, I'm on my way in here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Baby. Yeah. Oh, my shit. Goddamn. Baby, get the toys ready. Get the Viagra ready. Yeah, baby. I'm on my way. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. I love you, Gunfreaknation. It's been big fun, but now it's time to run. You feel me? About to go dive in something delicious. Yeah, baby. Oh, much love to you, Gunfreak.